I found $427 hiding in my phone. Now look, I'm blessed to do well for myself, but I'm actually way more frugal than people might think. With groceries costing what they cost and everything getting more expensive, that $427 could have been gas money, grocery money, or the buffer that I needed when unexpected bills hit. But instead it was just leaking out of my account because of the sneaky habits I didn't even know I had. Now hey fam, I'm Dr. Nina. And here's one thing. Just because you have any sort of income, including a good income, doesn't mean you should be careless with what you spend. Especially right now, I pride myself in being financially responsible and finding ways to stretch them dollars. I was really focused on saving and investing more. But even somebody like me who thinks she's got it all together, I was bleeding money through habits so sneaky I was completely blind to them. But before I break down all 7 habits, drop a comment right now and tell me, what's one subscription that you're paying for that you completely forgot about? I bet there's at least one and I'm going to prove it.
Dr. Nina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
Because habit number 4 was costing me $89 every single month. And habit number 7 had both me and my husband looking at each other like, wait, we paying for what? Look, whether you're making $40,000 or $400,000 in this economy, every dollar counts. Being financially responsible isn't about being cheap. It's about being intentional. Let's say it together, intentional. If you're ready to find your own hidden money and get that peace of mind, you know the kind that comes with knowing exactly where your money is going. Stay with your girl. Because in 2025 and beyond, we can't afford to be careless with our coins, no matter how blessed we are. Now let's start with the big one. Y'all, I signed up for one of those meditation apps, during one of those weeks where little Hunter was going through her phases and mama was too. I was barely holding on. You know the ones, $12.99 for your sanity for the month. When you're crying and snotting and you just want to read some compelling and kind words. With everything else being so expensive, it seemed nice and reasonable for some mental health support. 6 months later, I hadn't opened that app once. Not once. But I had paid $78 for digital dust. That's almost a week's worth of groceries for some families right now. Then there was the baby development app that was supposed to help me track milestones and all the activities. $35 a month. Money that could have gone straight into my investment account or savings, no less. For information I could have gotten for free from the pediatrician or a lot of basic parenting resources. That money adds up while you're trying to be frugal and careful with your spending. The truth is, we sign up in moments of desperation and vulnerability, especially when we want to be the best that we can be, but still want to be responsible with our coins. These companies know we juggling priorities, and they're designed to prey on our hopes that these things will just get better. And the little app that we downloaded will solve all our problems. Now, I couldn't have discovered these hidden subscriptions without the tools that help to open my eyes. And that's today's sponsor, Rocket Money. And I want to thank them for sponsoring today's video. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app, and it helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and even manage your money better. And y'all, when I first connected my accounts, I found subscriptions that I completely forgot existed. There was a language learning app charging me $15 a month. Apparently, I was paying to not speak French fluently. Once you connect your accounts, Rocket Money identifies all your subscriptions all in one place. I could see everything clearly for the first time, and I really didn't want to see it. The good, the bad, and the why did I think I needed a premium weather app? With just a couple of taps, Rocket Money helped me cancel the ones that I didn't want anymore. The bill negotiation feature is incredible too. Instead of spending hours on hold with customer service, Rocket Money's negotiators work to get you better rates on your internet, phone, and even other bills. No need to worry about those awkward conversations. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let the app's negotiators go to work for you and get the best possible rate. Why not? You can create a customized budget in seconds, and the app shows you where your money is going with insights. And those are on your top spending categories. Rocket Money will send you notices about upcoming charges and when your balance is low. Plus, it automatically analyzes your accounts. And that's to determine the optimal time to save so that you reach your goals faster. Rocket Money has helped its customers save up to $740 a year, especially when you use the app's premium features. They've helped customers save over $500 million in canceled subscriptions in total. To join the over 5 million members saving money, go to rocketmoney.com/Dr. Nina or click the link in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. Now, don't say I ain't never done nothing for you, okay? Thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video. Now let me tell you about the other money habits that were draining my account. Now this one hits different because it felt like self-care, but it was really financial sabotage. When you're focused on maximizing every dollar for savings and investment or just to get by, the last thing you need is emotional spending derailing your goals. Whenever my hormones were out of whack, which was pretty much the past 3 years, and let's be real, all kinds of stressors can trigger this. I'd find myself on Sephora at 2 a.m. buying serums that I didn't even need. $150 here, $200 there. That's money that could have gone somewhere much better. And speaking of smarter spending, let me tell you how I actually approach groceries instead of just mindless emotional spending. I do bulk shopping at Costco's for essentials. I hunt down sales and use coupons religiously. And I use apps like Instacart to compare pricing. And that's across different stores before I even leave the house. And sometimes I'll just have the groceries delivered because when you factor in the gas, the tolls, my time, it actually saves money. And that's strategic spending. But then there was those days. I'd have a stressful day and my Amazon cart would fill up with magical supplements. And I had to convince myself that they would fix everything. Oh, a good day and I got a little bit of extra cash? Okay. Reward shopping for workout gear. And some of it ended up sitting in my closet with the tag still on it. So for some of us, that's expensive probiotics whenever we feel bloated, fancy teas when we tired, new planners every time life feels chaotic, because those Burlington and Ross runs, they add up too. Like somehow the right purchase could solve all your problems when it had nothing to do with shopping. You see the difference? When I grocery shop, I'm strategic. I compare prices. I'm demure, I'm mindful, and I'm thinking ahead. But when I'm emotional shopping, all the logic goes out the window sometimes. When you're trying to build wealth and save for the future, emotional spending becomes the enemy. And that's because it's taking money away from your real financial goals. So keep that in check. Did you know that free trials are designed to trap us? Especially when we're already financially stressed. And that's not all the time. If you're responsible and you know how to count your days and do all of that, then great. But if you're stressed out, who's gonna be watching the calendar? When money is tight, free sounds like a lifeline. I signed up for a photo editing app when I was trying to step up my content game. That 7-day trial felt perfect to sign up without commitment. Then I forgot to cancel. Yeah. And that thing charged me $19.99 for a monthly subscription. Again, money that could have gone into an investment account, a savings account, or for a rainy day. And sometimes you see some of these things and you're like, oh, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. And then you turn around 2 or 3 months later and you've been charged $19.99 per month. And that money is banking up. Now, here's what I learned. Now, when I do signups for free trials, and sometimes they are worth testing, I immediately set a calendar reminder for 2 days before the trial ends. That gives me time to either cancel or make an intentional decision to keep it that I'm aware of. And honestly, I even set calendar reminders for the subscriptions I do want to keep, especially those annual ones. Because they be hitting all at the same time, it seems like. That way, if there's any financial changes or if my priorities shift before it charges again, I can reassess whether or not it makes sense for my budget and my goals. It's just good financial hygiene. And you know we all about the hygiene over here. But the worst part, these companies make it super easy to sign up when you're excited about the possibilities, but deliberately harder to cancel when you realize it's not worth it. I can't tell y'all how many times I had to go through that questionnaire that makes me feel real anxious and also like I'm hurting somebody's feelings when I say I want to cancel. Click like if you can relate. They're literally betting on our busy lives and hoping that we'll absorb the cost rather than dealing with the hassle of canceling. Now here we go with that $89 a month habit that I was telling y'all about. And when everything else was going up on price, this one really hurt. My personal phone bill quietly jumped from $85 to $110 and more over the course of 8 months. I did a little study. With inflation hitting everything, I assumed it was normal price increases, and at first I didn't question it. Turns out they had added some premium features. I had never asked for them, and I definitely didn't use them because I didn't know they existed. 8 months of overpaying is over $200 that I could have saved. $200. My car insurance was creeping up every month as well. It got up to about $25 more. And that's $300 that could have helped me with my financial goals. Just the little things. When I finally called to ask about it, they said that my promotional pricing had ended. In a time where every company is raising prices, they're also quietly removing discounts. Boom. My internet bill also went up from $60 to $89. I'm telling all my little business. And that was gradually over several months. Look, creep. And again, they also told me promotional pricing had expired. Conveniently. Here's the thing. Companies are counting on us being busy and distracted. They know that we're focused on bigger financial goals, like investing, building wealth, or just trying to survive. We might not scrutinize every small monthly charge. When you're trying to optimize your future, you can't afford to be on autopilot with your cash. So here's what I do now. I set a quarterly calendar reminding me to review all of my expenses, especially my recurring bills. I look at each one and ask, from the last few months, did this go up? Am I still getting value? Is there a better deal available? And honestly, I've called to negotiate at least twice a year, and my husband is a whole negotiator. Baby, you best believe he gonna do it. The worst they can say is no, but you'd be surprised at how often they'll work with you, especially when you conveniently mention that you're shopping around. Sound like a dating roster, don't it? I don't know nothing about that. Been out that game for a long time. Now, this one was causing unnecessary anxiety in my life. I used to be one of those people who checked my bank account obsessively, multiple times a day, refreshing the app constantly, especially after making any kind of purchase. I thought this was being financially responsible, but it was actually making me more anxious with my money. And y'all, it don't help that I watch a lot of true crime and I look at things like Joanne the Scammer and all these other people. It's a lot of scams out there. Now, I was checking it first thing in the morning, then again after lunch, and then before bed. Every pending transaction would send me into a mini spiral. I would be thinking, did I spend too much? Do I need to cancel that? Even when I knew I was being responsible with my spending and sticking to my budget. The constant check-in was not giving me control. It was giving me anxiety and the bubble guts. Okay. I was micromanaging every single dollar instead of trusting the system that I had put in place. Here's what I learned and what changed everything. Now I check my accounts on designated days, usually twice a week. And these are usually on pre-planned days that I specifically planned for. This gives me regular awareness without excessive monitoring. When I do check, I'm looking for two main things: making sure that my spending is in line with my goals and scanning for any weird charges that shouldn't be there. It's purposeful, not anxious. I also set up text alert for my bank for any time I spend over $100 in a purchase. That way, if there's any large, unusual transactions, I know about it immediately without constantly having to check my balance. Now I feel less anxious about my money and more aware of my spending patterns. I have the information that I need without the mental exhaustion of constantly monitoring. It's about being intentional about your financial awareness and not obsessive. Death by 1,000 tiny cuts, y'all. And in this economy, we can't afford death by anything. $2.99 for this app, $4.99 for that one, $1.99 for extra cloud storage I didn't even need at the time. Each little charge seems so harmless. It's just a few bucks, right? But when I actually added up all these little cuts, I was spending $47 a month on digital clutter. That's over $560 a month on apps I barely use. The premium version of apps that I touch maybe once a month. Extra features I never explored. Upgrades that made zero difference in my experiences or in my actual life. In my imaginary one, yeah. When you're trying to optimize every dollar, that extra $5 for an app upgrade, especially when you don't use it, it hit different. Those tiny subscriptions hide in plain sight because we think they don't matter. But $3 here and $5 there add up more than we realize, especially when you're focused on building wealth or, again, just trying to get by and survive. So here's my system for reviewing even those charges. We've talked about the bigger ones. When I do my twice weekly account check I mentioned, I look at my recurring charges and I ask 3 questions. Have I used this app in the past month? Does this actually save me time or money? If I had to sign up for this today, would I? And some of my apps I was keeping out of nostalgia, like Pandora Premium. Look, y'all, I used to love Pandora. But now I got Spotify. Like, why am I riding around with Pandora? Which still had ads, by the way, even though I was paying. And if the answer to anything I asked is no, cancel immediately. No guilt, no maybe I'll use it later. Gone. I also do that bigger annual audit, especially in my quarters, like I told y'all. And with those bigger apps, I still ask the same questions, but I give myself a little bit more time to think about it because those are bigger commitments. Most of these smaller charges are funding digital hoarding, not adding real value to our lives. In times like these, every subscription needs to be earning its place, especially in your budget, and actually contribute to your goals. And I've got my goal setting worksheet for y'all. Link down below. Go ahead and get it. It's a gift to you, okay? Definitely, if you're even looking at your own financial goals. Now, this one had me and my husband looking at each other like, we paying for what? For who? We both love our shows, okay? I'm talking about From, BMF, Raising Canaan, all those fun things that keep us entertained, especially when we're not trying to afford going out as much because movies tickets is costing $30 a person. Like who? But here's what happened. I signed up for Stars and MGM to watch From because I was obsessed and I had to see what was happening next. Meanwhile, my husband signed up for the same Stars subscription because he wanted to catch up on BMF. Neither of us mentioned it to each other. Little purchase, right? Then we both got Paramount Plus. Me for some show I couldn't even remember right now. Him for something different entirely. 2 accounts, same household, paying double for the same content. The worst part, we found out we was both paying for Apple TV. Come on now. Prime Video add-ons. It even had 2 different Hulu upgrades, and let's not even get on Amazon Prime. Just get the family account, okay? If you're gonna have it, because I don't know if we fooling with it. But y'all know what I'm talking about. When we finally sat down and compared our phones and our pricing, we were paying for duplicate entertainment subscriptions. That totaled almost $80 a month. In an economy where date nights cost a fortune and family activities keep on getting more expensive, we were literally paying double for our at-home entertainment without even realizing it. That's a no-no. We both felt silly, but honestly, it's super easy to do, especially when you're both trying to find affordable ways to unwind after a stressful day. Now we have one shared entertainment budget. We coordinate who signs up for what. It actually makes us more intentional about what shows we actually want to watch instead instead of just mindlessly subscribing to everything. So here's what happened when I broke these 7 habits. I found $427 a month. And yes, I did the math. That's over $5,000 a year. That was leaking out of my accounts. That's game-changing money for anybody. That $427 became extra money that I could invest. An additional peace of mind that comes from knowing exactly where every dollar is going. It meant that I could be even more strategic with my financial objectives. But the money was just the beginning. My stress levels dropped because I wasn't carrying that nagging feeling of where's my money going? Marriages get stronger as you coordinate financial decisions as well, especially when you're equals. And especially when you're not duplicating costs that are taken away from the home. And I sleep better now because I'm not worried about surprise charges hitting my account, especially when we're trying to maximize every dollar for wealth building. I have a clear vision of my finances and I can optimize my financial goals. Most importantly, I proved to myself that even when you think you're being financially responsible, there's always room to optimize and improve. That confidence has been invaluable when making financial decisions and any investment choices and just living in this economy right now. Because let's be real, money management is about maximizing your potential and your family, even if it's just you. When you declutter your finances, you free up your space and actual dollars. And that's to focus on the security that you really want. Okay, family, here's your challenge. Pick one of these financial habits and I want you to audit it this week. Check your subscriptions, look at your bills, or just face looking at your bank account if you've been avoiding it. With money being tight for everybody right now, we can't afford to let these leaks continue. Drop a comment and let me know which habit hit you the hardest. I read every single one and I love learning from y'all. And I also take a lot of the things that you say as advice as well. And I also share it with others. There are tough economic times right now, but we can all work with each other to be our absolute best. There's no shame in our money game here. And if this video has helped you, make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. It's 100% free. And don't forget to check out my LTK shop in the description so that you know some of the items that I use that help me to stay affordable, organized, and together. And also my gifts at my brand new website. Y'all go ahead and run up their website because I got gifts over there for you. My goal setting worksheet and my boundary setting checklist. And if you're having trouble with a lot of different areas, this is going to help you to put your mind back on your money altogether, the money of life. Remember that financial freedom is not about being rich, especially not right now. It's about us keeping our heads above water and making smart financial decisions and not putting money back into the hands that they don't belong in. All right, y'all, Dr. Nina signing out. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.